Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I'm nervous, I'll tell you why. This is chapstick and this is cake batter. I chose it at random. I'm rotating between 12 of them and a Tillamook. The Tillamook was gifted to me from a dear friend. But here's a tidbit that some of you may or may not know. And so this is an answer to something that's coming up soon. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. December 2022, two different people, unknown to each other that they were doing it, were sending me from Amazon chapstick 12 days of Christmas. And so I ended up with 24 chapsticks. Granted, 2 of each are the same because it was the same gift package, but I decided to just rotate through them. And so this one will go like to the back of the bunch, and then once all 12 are used, then I'll put them back where they live and then use them that way. So that way I'm sure to like use them all up. And so that's a tidbit that will come in handy, that little piece of information. If you're new here, my name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying doing videos if you do them, and whether you do videos or not, enjoying your time on YouTube. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards because you set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or even a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what TCTN stands for. I do curse sometimes in my video because I curse sometimes in real life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you're returning, what's up, fam? How y'all doing? This video, this is starting part 2 of my month of McGrath. We've gone through the motherships I have, 1 through 6 and number 10. And so part 2 is something I normally don't do. We're going to pair the motherships with each other. I have never done that before. The idea came from Tentalia.com. She does palette reviews. She'll show you dupes for particular colors within that palette. She does the shade descriptions, which I'm horrible at. And for the motherships, she did a breakdown of the motherships, which you can get from Pat McGrath website. These are the structure builders, these are dimension shades, that type of thing. And one of the other things that she did that I was like, she did a section on what she thinks would pair well, like what mothership would pair well with whatever other mothership. And I was like, okay, because I typically don't pair palettes. Mothman I did with Natasha Denona Mattes, the Trio Chrome, because Mothman only has 2 mattes and only one looks flattering on me. So that was kind of a no-brainer to like mix those two. But as far as mixing palettes, I just have a habit. If I pick up that palette, that's what I'm using. Or if I need a black, you know, I'll just pick up non-pat related Natasha Denona Xenon, because it has a black and a smoke gray. And so I got this specifically for if I just want to deepen up a look. But typically, other than that, I don't mix palettes. And so I was smiling in the beginning because I'm nervous. I turned my AC temperature down because I'm starting to sweat. Like, I am really nervous. And it's only makeup, so it's not a big deal. Don't like it, try to fix it, or just don't fix it, and that'll just be the video. Because y'all know, if anything, I'm going to finish a look. Whether it's busted or not, we're going to do the damn thing. And so today's look is going to be... I need to just calm down. It's only makeup, Dion. So today we're going to pair Mothership 1 Subliminal and Mothership number 3 Subversive. It sounded good on paper. But then when I was looking at it yesterday, today is June, which is not even June. Today is July 9th. This is Sunday. And when I was looking at it last night, I'm like, okay, this one, Subliminal, it is cool tone. It leans neutral on me and very smoky. And Subversive, Mothership number 3, is smoky. But I'm looking at it like, I don't know, Tentalia. But I did write out what I'm going to put where, and we're just going to go for it. Because next to Subversive, Subliminal does look really cool. And usually cool tones are not paired with warm tones. it depends on how you place them in the tone, but sometimes they don't go. Actually, a lot of times they do, but it depends on, I said, placement and what you're putting it next to, because I have done it and it's really nice. And that's one of the reasons I like Natasha Denona's Zendo palette. It has a warm and cool, and you can mix them and it usually works out well. But anyway, these are the two palettes that we're using, and even now I'm looking at it like, what? How are these gonna go? We're gonna go them. we're gonna make them go. I have on Fenty Brow Pencil, of course, Pat McGrath primer, Pat McGrath foundation. Between the primer and the foundation, I do have on Estee Lauder for in concealer under my eyes and around this area here and here for that 2 pimple thing, and under here. So the same thing we've been doing, and we're going to do the same exact base face for all of part 2 as we did for all of part 1. I didn't powder down yet because if fall out, I'll just put on more foundation or whatever to clean that up. So my eyes are also primed with the Fenty eye primer. So we're going to get started. I do think this is going to turn out nice. Let's just do it. So we're going to first start with Extreme Black, which is in the first 3 motherships. And this is going to go, we're still doing outer, inward, dark to light. I am really liking this. Actually, I'm going to pick up, after I drop that, Mothership number 3, because the second shade we're going to use is in here also. So still with Extreme Black, we're going to put this on. I don't know why. I gotta tilt my mirror down here. I don't know why I get nervous, because it really is only makeup. You know what it is because when you do videos, you want your look to come out nice. Like, I don't think anybody sets out to just do a look. It's like, I'm just gonna do this hideous ass look. I don't think anybody has that goal. So I think that's what it is that even if it turns out busted, it's not because I intended it to. And I want you guys to, you know, like the look I'm doing, be inspired to dupe out the colors if you don't have the palettes that I'm using. And so I think that's why I get nervous, especially when it's something new to me. And if you're new here, I don't practice looks. I don't sit here at night or in the morning and do a look, and then if I like it, then I record it again. I do it again and record it for a video. I just sit here and do a look. Like, I'm hardcore like that. It's like, however it comes out, just how it comes out, because that's real life. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe some of the larger YouTubers do. I don't know. But I don't know. I know a few people who do practice looks, where they'll say, you know, I started this look, it didn't look right, I washed it off and started over. Or in the video, they'll be like, I don't like this, and then I'll wipe it off and start over. I don't do that. I just sit here and it's like, it's going to be what it is. If it's busted, we're going to try and fix it. If it can't be fixed, we know not what to do ever again. And if it can be fixed, then we know what to do again, or we've learned how to tweak it. So for me, either way, it's a learning experience. If it comes out nice, we know what to do. If it turns out busted, we figure out how to tweak it, or just be like, okay, it's not going to be fixed. And I have done looks where it just refused to be fixed. And so what we learned was never do that again, ever, like ever. Or just put different shades in different places, or just don't use a certain transition shade or whatever. So either way, it's a learning lesson. And that's why I don't scrap looks, because it's always something to learn. And if you're always quitting, if you're always scrapping it, what are you learning? You're just learning just to give up. And we don't do that here. We don't. And there were some times when I was doing a look and I thought, I'm not going to finish this video. And I said, you know what? No, because this is real life. Everything doesn't always come out the way we want it to. So let's see what we can learn from it. That's the key. Learn something from it. And so I hope the way I do my makeup and my videos and my philosophy about makeup looks, I hope it resonates with you, and that it does encourage you to just play your makeup and not be ashamed or afraid to like try something new, or if it's turning out the way you don't want to, not to feel bad about, I'm going to keep going and try to fix it. You know what I mean? Consider it a learning experience. So we have a little blend up here, and I think I'm going to just leave that like that. This side we have a little slight blend going on right here, so we're going to leave that that way. We're going to now go into Black Metal, this shade here, and that's going to go on the inside of Extreme Black. So that's going to go right here. I am using a dry brush. This shade is textured, and I thought to use a sponge tip applicator, and I said, you know what, let me just do like I normally do, and if there's fallout, just add on more foundation under my eyes or on my face, because my fallout isn't always right here. Sometimes it's down my face, and so adding additional foundation does usually cover it up, at least to the point where it's not super noticeable. And so that's why I didn't powder down, even though I have completely powdered down face and still put more foundation on top of it and add more powder. And sometimes it works. Like, it doesn't look cakey, but I think it depends on the foundation that you're using and or the powders that you're using. That's just my theory. Like, I haven't tested it. I don't know, because I only have 3 foundations right now. I did have 4 at one point, and now I'm down to 3. I got rid of the Rare Beauty one. So this is what we're doing. So these two are easy, and they're both in the same palette, even though Extreme Black is also in Mothership #1. But putting a Black Metal shade next to a matte black is gonna go, you know what I mean? So this was kind of like no-brainer. And in case you haven't noticed, I have been putting at least like 4 shades on the lid. So it's been kind of in quarters, like outer corner, third quarter, center lid, and then inner quarter of the lid. So if you have smaller eyes than I do, maybe just do 3 lid shades, do an outer corner, center, and a lid, versus putting 4 shades. And there are times I sometimes put 5 if I do like just an inner corner, like add that in. So I'm saying this to say, when you see people do looks, me or anyone else, you don't have to do everything that they do. You really don't, because every step is not necessary to get the look that you want. So we're going to leave that there, and now we're going to go to Mothership #1, and we're going to take, it's on the paper. Why am I looking at my notes? This is Blitz Blue. I was going to use a sponge tip, but we're going to see how it picks up with a dry brush. I love the Celestial shades in the first 3 Motherships because they're baked. They are not chunky monkeys at all. I am swiping it. There's no kick up. And look at this, y'all. So this is going to go here. And this is going to be a smoky look. I am going to do a public apology. I've apologized to her in private. For Mothership #5, Bronze Seduction, we did a collab for that. And if you've been here, you've seen that video. You've heard me talk about her, and I linked her Instagram below. And I'm going to link her Instagram below in this video because I am talking about her. She does watch YouTube videos, but she doesn't do YouTube videos. And through that video, I kept saying Melinda. And even putting her Instagram in my description box, I still kept saying Melinda. Her name is Melina. So I was adding a D between the N and the A. Melina, Melinda. So I was adding a letter. And when I realized it, and we text quite often on Instagram, sometimes about life, sometimes about makeup. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I called you the wrong name every time I mentioned you in the video. And she's like, it's okay, most people do it. And I'm like, well, I'm not most people, I'm a troll. We're supposed to be special, not like everybody else. And so she just laughed it off, and she was really good about it. She's like, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. But I have a thing about calling people by their name, or at least what they want to be called. And so I still feel bad about it. And so this is my public apology, because I know she's going to watch this video. This is my public apology to you, Melina, for calling you someone else's name this entire time for that video that we collabed in. And for, you should have seen it by the time this airs, a few of the other Motherships, number 6 and 10. We also collabed for that. Not specifically me in the video, but posting our looks together and putting each other's looks in our slideshows on Instagram. But do please check her out. Her channel is amazing. We're going back to Black Metal, which I kind of don't want to do because I'm thinking it might create fallout, because if you look at Black Metal, it does look sparkly. Whereas even though Blitz Blue is a celestial shade, it's not, it's smooth. And so I'm thinking this may create fallout, but I want to get more of a blend over here. This is the brush that had black metal. We're not adding any other shadow, but we're just sweeping it over to overlap Blitz Blue. I had to look and see what the name of it was. I like this. Oh my. So we're doing the same thing here. Just overlapping black metal with Blitz Blue. Wow. I am digging it. It's looking like I need to blend right here. Like this side, I'm liking how this is blended. This side seems to be a gap or something. Something I learned from Melinda. I'm looking at her pictures and her color placement, because also on her Instagram, she will list what shades she put where. And she was layering a shade over the Skin Show shades. The shades that anytime I use it for brow bone, I end up putting something else on it to tone it down. She would put something on inner corner and then layer it with the Skin Show shade. And I'm like, I need to start doing that, because if you think back, all of the looks you've seen so far in this Month of McGrath series, I have not touched any of those Skin Show shades, because all of them are just super bright on me. And I'm like, why didn't I think to layer? Y'all, I just don't be thinking of doing certain things. But I am going to start to do that, maybe. I really do, because I do need to use that shade, and they are beautiful. They're just so bright. On my complexion, they're bright. She's a little lighter than I am. This is the brush that had Blitz Blue. We're just going to tap right here. Okay. And we may use the Skin Show as brow bone for this look, just because. I'm not sure yet. It is a beautiful shade, but it's just way too bright for me on its own, which would make it great for inner corner. Now we're going to take Substance, which is also in Mothership #1. This is Substance. And my swatches, and when I swatched this out, y'all, I just took a sponge tip applicator and like swatched it on a paper towel. Like I didn't even do like arm swatches, and my arm isn't the same shade as my face, so it's not going to be a good reputation of what it's going to look like. And this, I don't know. I shouldn't have put this here first, because that's not even looking right to me. This shade is a little chunky. I've only had this not long, maybe like, I don't know, not long though. I'm not liking how this looks right here, but we're gonna just leave it because I don't know what to do about it. And I did the same thing here. You know what it is? It's this brush because it's square, and it's usually not. Why is this brush shaped this way? I use this brush quite often, so I don't know. We're gonna sweep back and forth in between to blend. But I'm not, okay. It's working. Yeah, I'm hesitating because I'm not sure. Like I think it's working, but then part of me is like, I'm not quite convinced yet. And the tone of this, it is a light shade, so it's not going to do too much. And I don't want it to be super dark, which is why it's here on the inside of the blue. You know what, I'm gonna just lean into it. So since this is touching my brow, I'm gonna do this here. And if we do put the Skin Show shade up here, then we'll bring that down here as well to this area. So I mean, it's not horrible. Blitz Blue, no additional shadow. We're gonna tap right here because I'm not liking how that's looking. And this side appears to be a gap. You know what it is? Because my brows are different. So like I'm seeing a gap right here, but not right here. And even doing this, like there's not a gap, but then over here there is a gap. So we're still taking the brush with Blitz Blue, not adding any additional shade. I am going to put Skin Show here, and even though it's very light, it may camouflage that or it may not. But we're going to find out. So the next shade we're going to use is, oh, Blitz Amethyst. Where's Blitz Amethyst? Y'all, this is in Mothership #3. This is Blitz Amethyst. It's blue, and then it's not. It looked good on paper, but when I sat down and looked at the shades and was thinking of what look I'm gonna do, I was like, how do these two go together? And so this is gonna go right here. It's different. This is definitely smoke. This is me not knowing what to say. I love this shade. What's throwing me off is how it's really bright and then it's dim and then you have the bold blue. So this gray right here is just throwing me off. And I don't want to take it all the way to the blue, but we're going to take it to the blue. Again, this is a dry brush and this is a celestial shade. I don't want to say, I wish, you know, this is what I'm going to say. I was going to say, I wish that all of her celestial shades were baked, but I'm going to change that. I like that. But I'm going to change it to say, I wish that from the celestial shades, 2 were baked, like the ones in the first 3 motherships, and the other 2 were the flaky, chunky monkeys. Because I have learned to work with the chunky monkeys, and it is something about that shine. Y'all know, and that's why people love them. It is something about the shine, so I wouldn't want to completely take those away. But if she could just do like 2 chunky monkeys and 2 of the baked ones, that would be perfect for me. Because I have to be in the mood for the chunky monkeys, but when I use those shades, I like this. So overlapping, putting down substance, and then overlapping Blitz Amethyst. And because Blitz Amethyst is a dual chrome, it's blue and then it's purple, it's playing off of the blue. So right here, specifically right here, you see it blue, but then when you turn, you see it's purple, and then you have the blue from Blitz, whatever that was, Blitz Blue, excuse me y'all. And over here you just see kind of the purple, and then you see the gray right here, which I'm not liking how that's looking. But I'm loving the lid work. And this is a look where I don't even know if I would do a liner, but we are. But if I was wearing this out, because it is so dark and smoky, I'm like, we don't even need to do a liner. This is the brush that had extreme black. We're not adding shadow to it. We're just going to do some more blending right here. I really hope that you all are enjoying this series I'm doing. Oh, that blended out nice. Look at that. So for all of you who believe, and if that's your truth, that's your truth. So don't think I'm saying different. But if you really believe, again, if it's your truth, it's your truth, that you have to use another shade to blend out a shade. This is to show you that you don't. Just take the brush that has the shadow on it, not adding more, or just take a clean brush and you can just blend the shade out on its own. Like, you see how that looks, and you can tell it's blended, and I didn't use a different shade to blend it. You see what I mean? And my intro is do your makeup how you want to, and to have it in a way that you're satisfied with it. But this is just the way I do it. And when I see people say, but when I hear people say, oh, I wish it was, you know, a lighter pink so I can blend out the hot pink, I'm thinking, just blend it out. Like, why do you need? But it's however you want to do your makeup. I have a note here. Do I? No, that's it for the lid. So it's not it for the lid, because we are going to take, this is Mothership III. So do we want to take Skin Show Fever, or do we want to take Mothership #1 Sublime and take Skin Show Nude? So let me hold these up so you can see. This is where I wish I could hear you. So do we take this corner one or the corner one over here at the bottom? I'm thinking this one, because I think this will be less bright than this one, and because this is such a smoky look, we're gonna do, shit. But then this is a whole color, where this is more like a nude. Let's do this one after all of that, right? Oh boy. All right, we're gonna take Skin Show Nude, and we're just gonna tap very lightly, and we're gonna turn the brush, tap, tap, turn over, tap, tap, turn over. So we did that like twice. And We're going to put that here. You see what I'm saying? That shade is bright. And we're going to just bring it here. And we're going to bring it a little further because I want to camouflage some of this darkness right there. You see how bright this is on me? And this is the nude one. It's not nude for me. It's nude for somebody. I'm not even sure if I like that. I just, but it's there. And because you know what it does? Because I did the straight line, it doesn't look blended. So we're just going to just go back and forth. And if I need to go back with the brush with the blue or the black, then we'll just do that. But I'm not, that looks better. Me doing this, blending it where the two shades meet, looks better. Because it was just looking like a stark line because I just did like a straight line. But still, now it's making it look like maybe this isn't blended. So I'm probably gonna, shit, let's just put it on the other side and then figure it out. So this is why I don't use these shades up here. But if I put this for inner corner, like that would be bomb. And so I'm wondering if I want to layer this on the inner corner. Yeah, I just don't like how stark that looks. But I do want to use them because it is pretty. I did tap in and probably too much. I don't know, y'all. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this little random brush and we're just going to like put some pressure on it. You see me moving my skin just to kind of blend or like just tone that down because I'm just not really liking how that looks. I'm liking this better. And I always need to finagle when I use the Skin Show shades. And that's why I don't use them often because who got time to keep going back trying to fix it in a way, fix it in the way we like it. I think that's good. And if it's not, it's just going to be. So we're going to put the black on our lower lash line. And I don't see a lot of fall. Yeah, I see some. I see some of that blue over here. What video was that? And I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have any fallout. And then when I went to do pictures, I'm like, damn, I got like a bunch of blue. I had like a patch of blue like over here somewhere. And I'm like, oh man. And trying to rub it off doesn't work. I forget what I ended up doing to try to fix it, but I was just like, shoot. You know what it is? Because if it's not like a sparkly shade that gives fallout, I don't really notice it. But if it's like a blue, like a little blue little patch or something, I might not notice it, which is weird because, you know, blue shows up on my complexion, you know what I mean? Versus if it's just something that's sparkly, you can maybe play it off like it's highlight. Like your cheek highlight. And I think it's because I'm so focused on the eye look that I'm not looking down here and on my face. I really think that's what it is. I'm going to take, this wears down quick, y'all. I was going to take a liner for lower rims, but all of a sudden my eyes just started burning. So I'm not going to do anything with my inner rims today. We are going to take, what are we going to take? Astral Ghost Orchid from Mothership #3. We're going to take this and press that on the first half of the lid. Y'all, this is so exciting, but it's still just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And we're using a stubby smudger brush so we can press it because I don't want it to flake up into my eyes, but then is it going to show up? And I am just stabbing it and pressing it and wiggling. I do want to swipe it, but I'm concerned about swiping it. But we're going to just press and swipe and hopefully everything will stay there. So it's more so showing up underneath. I see pink down here because it is a dual chrome. If you look in here, it looks white, but you do see some pink on my lower lash line. So we're just pressing and wiggling to get it on there. And this is where, for me, instead of wetting my brush, this is where, for me, having a liner down helps because it'll help the shadow stick to the liner. So we're stabbing it again, and we're tapping off, and we're just going to press and wiggle to get that there. I just felt a couple flecks go into my eye. Usually this works to not get it into my eye, but then sometimes if a shadow is really glittery, it's still gonna flake. And so, all right, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna press and hope it sticks because I don't want to get it in my eye. So you see a little bit of the pink, even though it looks white. I always forget like what shades these are because they look white and they're not. The one I put on and I knew it wasn't white because I know by now that they're not white. But when it turned green, I was like, whoa. And I think I had used it for my inner corner or like this first shade here. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's green. So we're going to go into Astral White. No. What are we doing? VR Violet from Mothership #1. This shade here, which looks pink, but then it looks this shade. We're going to put this on the second half of the lower lash line. So VR Violet does tell you it's a violet type shade, which is good. Because when they just say like Astral White or Astral Ghost White, or like Lunar Gold, you know, the Lunar Gold may be gold, but then it shows up green. So it's like, what? So with this saying VR Violet, we know it's going to be pinkish. I mean purplish, which is why I put it next to the pink. And it looks blue instead of purple. So let's see again. That's this shade. So I'm not seeing any blue. Well, yeah. Damn. Is that a multi-chrome? So here's pink. There's blue. Excuse the glares. And then there's the pink again. That's this shade. Oh. Okay. So even it's saying VR Violet, like it's blue. I guess blue is in the violet family. I get so confused dealing with colors. I am sweating. I can feel it. This, we're doing the same thing, just pressing and wiggling. And because that is showing up so well, we're not going to press and sweep. We're just going to leave that like that. So what we're going to do now is, this is going to be fun doing a reel trying to show both of these palettes, but I probably just won't even hold them up. Let's see about the fallout and the sweat. I did use all of the 2 pumps. I have been using 2 pumps of the primer and 2 pumps of the foundation. So we're just going to take, hopefully I can just get a little bit. It's a habit doing this on my chin because it ain't nothing on my chin. Well, no fallout on my chin. The brush we use for primer and foundation. And we're going to just dab this all around here and hope we're catching everywhere where the fallout was. I can say I am really liking the primer and the foundation. Seriously, I am. I'm only doing this right here because I'm sweating, so I'm hoping it's just pressing everything in together. I decided I want the House Labs Watermelon Bliss blush. So what I'm trying to do is, because I have like 2,800 points, 2,800 plus points at Sephora, excuse me, I'm going to try and snag one of the $100 gift cards. And even though the blush is only 38, I think I'll just get maybe another Pat primer and foundation, because I have a feeling I'm going to go through it in like 7 or 8 months, the same as I do with the Fenty, because you have to use your entire 100 in one transaction. So I'm trying to think of what else do I want. And so even though Pat's website has the 25 to 60%, no, 25 to 40% off sales, I need to get something to use that gift card once I get it. And I think they're available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm tapping a little bit of powder into the lid. And so, and it's only from like, it says noon, but sometimes I haven't been able to get it until like 12:20. And they seem to only have a certain amount, which kind of sucks. It's like, you know, if people earn the points, let them redeem it when they want to. And for it to only be like twice a week, I think that you can even get them. If you don't just hop on it and get it, it'll be sold out. So it's like, how do you sell out of a friggin' gift card? Sephora is so friggin' stingy. They really are. I was telling a friend of mine, I hope House Labs goes to Ulta, because their point system is so much better. And you can stack your points with the cells and also with the point multipliers. You can stack those with other deals and stuff. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. But, you know, if you have a coupon, you can use the coupon with the point multiplier thing. And at Sephora, if you have that $100 gift card, you can't use it during the Sephora Rouge sale. So it's just like, y'all just really trying to control when and where I'm spending my money. And I understand it because they set it up in a way that they're still going to come out on top. So even though we may earn points and we can redeem them, it has to be on their terms. Because the house always wins, as they say in the gambling world. But it is just so freaking stingy. And I don't even know if it matters to me at this point if House Labs goes to Ulta, because once I do get Watermelon Bliss, I'll have 5 of their blushes. And I don't use the foundation. I read the reviews, and some of them, people were like, their face was breaking out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And so, I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you on that one. I am going to... My under eyes are looking funky. We're going to bronze. We're going to do the same base face. Bronzer, highlighter, upper eyeliner, upper lash line eyeliner. We're going to do the same mascara primer and the same mascara. We will come back and figure out if we're going to use Paradise Venus or Desert Orchid. I'm still thinking Paradise Venus because I'm really liking getting the hang of using it in a way that it doesn't look too much. But we're going to do all of that, come back, figure out what gloss to wear out of my 5-pack glosses, and then that'll be it for this video. So we'll be back after I powder down. We'll do the blush and the lip here, and I'm going to do the liner and mascara off. I'm not, you know what? I kind of don't want to do the mascara. I mean the liner because it's so dark anyway, but I am. So we're going to do all that and then come back. We have everything done. Our choices for glosses are these. And I'm still not really digging this one except that it's a dual chrome. But I'm going to put this one on. I don't think it's going to show up much. I kind of want to do this one. We're going to do this one. That's one of my favorites. These two I use the most. And this one. You know what? Let's do this one. It's going to look plain probably, but we're going to do it. Don't y'all just love how indecisive I can be? Keeps things exciting. This is Ellie Angelic. We're just going to put it on top of chapstick since it is just a gloss. Yeah, so that's why I was thinking the other one, because this is pinky. That's this. And you can see the colors in it. You see the blue, you see pink, or whatever colors your eye picks up. I do really like the formula. This I think is a typical Pat look because I would do a black lip and then maybe put the gloss over it. But with this eye, I would definitely do a black lip. So this is the finished look. I am digging it. You know that I am. We have paired Mothership #1, Subliminal, and Mothership #3. I was kind of like, I don't know. We did use Paradise Venus, and what I did is I just tapped it right here and came over and tapped it right here and then went back and blended it around, and that's it, just this area right here. And then I did the highlighter, and because the highlighter is very glittery, I used the brush I used to powder down my face, and I just went around like this in this entire cheek area just to press everything in and to get off any loose flakes. I did notice after I finished the look, there was a little bluish tint here. I'm thinking it's from the lower lash line outer corner shade, and I noticed it even after I put on the foundation and powdered down and everything. So it's not much to do about it, and I was hoping that the cheek highlighter would camouflage some of that. I don't know if it did or not, but if you're not seeing blue, then it worked. But this is it. I am digging it. I am super excited. I do want more under my lower lash line, like more depth, more something, because it's so dark heavy up top and then it's light and airy at the bottom. Even though it is the black liner there, we have those two celestial shades there. Now I'm wondering, like, this might be a mistake. Troll, just stop it. No, I'm not. we're going to take, this is Subliminal. We're going to take Substance. Damn. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything because I'm going to mess up the look. I like it the way it is. Let's leave it the way it is, even though I do want more, like a thicker dark line down here. I don't want to mess up the look. So sometimes learn from my mistakes. Sometimes just leave it because it is a bomb look. Thank you for being here. I hope you are enjoying this series. You will see me soon for the next 2 palettes that we're going to pair up. And now I do feel really foolish of how nervous I was because it's just makeup and the look is bomb. I would have never thought to layer. I still didn't layer Skin Show over in a tear duct area. Maybe I'll do that in a future video. We will see. I'm going to go right now. This video is long. I appreciate you being here. And, you know, comments always welcome. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, please do. If you enjoyed this video, you know, thumbs up the video, share the video, all that good stuff. If you want to join, become an official CTN fam, that information is down below as well. And I do have some things I'm considering doing for like early member access videos. So that'll be another perk, and I need to add that onto the perk list. But anyway, as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you for being here, and you will see me soon.